This is Ari. He's 3 years old, nearly 4. It's his birthday in May. Ari lights up a room every time he walks into it. There's never a dull moment with Ari. Everybody he comes into contact with ends up with a smile on their face, or a kiss or a cuddle. He has his little brother Orbin, who is 1.5, and they are thick as thieves now, in their own little way. Ari absolutely loves the Gruffalo. We can't walk past the Gruffalo picture or colours. He loves to jump, he loves cake, and of course he loves mummy and daddy.
Yeah. So Ari is autistic, he's also non-verbal, so the way he communicates is pointing, using pet cards, things like that. But really, yeah, this is Ari's story. So I'm Connor, and I'm Ari's dad.
I'm Laura, and I'm Ari's mummy.
So Ari was like really any other child from when he was young. When he got to around sort of 16 months, 18 months, we did notice quite a quick regression. So we had sort of a handful of words, sort of 15, 20 words, car, ball, and he would associate the object with the actual physical thing as well. But yeah, around 16 months, 18 months, that started to regress quite quickly. So his speech started to disappear, and then he started to stim a lot, sort of walk around on tiptoes and show sort of symptoms or signs of what they'd called autism.
A phone call from the nursery, who also identified that he was not progressing in line with some of his peers as well, and yeah, that kind of warranted us to start to list everything that we'd recognised, and then approach our local doctors actually, and just have a conversation around some of those traits which we'd done our research. We're one of those people where you kind of Google things that you see, and so autism kind of came up as some of the regression. He was walking on his heels actually, so he did walk on his tiptoes, but he actually used to get really excited and walk on his heels, used to clap a lot. So we just listed everything down, and that was kind of our start of our journey actually. So it was compiling some of his assessments in nursery, some of the things that we'd seen in the home, and then going and having a conversation with our general practitioner. In terms of how it impacted us as a family, it was hard,
but it wasn't a shock.
Yeah,
I think we expected it. As parents that each child is different, and ours was different in a way different to most other children. So I think we were expecting it. For me, I think it was a bit of a relief, while it was still hard to hear. But for me, it was a relief, and yeah, it was just take it in our stride and what can we do, and just learn more about it really, and what can we do to help Ari and work with him really. So.
I think the focus for us as a family when we got that final diagnosis, because what I've heard and what I know about autism now and other people's battles is we went through the motions, but it was very, very difficult. So we were still waiting for a hospital appointment for quite a while. We were still kind of pushing and knocking on the door to ensure that we had that referral, and ensuring that first appointment with the paediatrician didn't get canned, as it were, and pushed back. So I think we were so fortunate that we got Ari's diagnosis really early on. So he'd literally just turned 2, and that's quite uncommon for an early diagnosis. So what Connor said, relief, was it was actually, this is what we thought. Being really transparent, it was a little bit disappointing in terms of the support that we got offered. So one of the key things that we asked our paediatrician at that diagnosis appointment was, well, what's next? And it was just learn all you can about autism. And
I think due to his age, it was just just got to wait for a period of time, just because how young he was still. So
that was a bit disappointing, because we wanted that guidance as parents with a diagnosed child. We wanted to understand how we could best support them, but the professionals were pushing it to us to actually say these are the next steps. So that was really daunting, I would say.
I think it was very early doors of Ari, so I think the autism spectrum is huge, and I think because he was very young, I think Ari almost needed to come out into his own character and to see where he was progressing and where he needed support. So I think, you know, when he was sort of 2, that was it was still a little bit early for that. So it was just a case of just waiting on for him to get a little bit older and see how he developed, really. But that was the frustrating aspect of just sort of 6 months to a year of just lingering and just waiting and just trying to learn as much as we could.
The diagnosis was critical in ensuring that we could gain understanding, not only for us as a family, but also for you guys, so that we could get the right support in place, and also just thinking about his future as well. So we could not have continued our normal lives as we knew it without the support of nursery. So Ari attends nursery 3 days a week. 4 days a week now, actually. So we've just upped his hours recently. The support that we've had from White House Nursery at Borrowash has been phenomenal from start to finish. It's not been an easy journey in terms of the transitioning of rooms, but I think that's kind of the first thing that you guys really supported us with, was identifying that he had different needs to those of his peers and thinking about his transition plan. So I think one of the first interventions which you did to understand and recognise what needs he needed, a lot of needs there, is when he was transitioning, you would usually have the children go and visit and then come back to the same environment, the same room. But actually you knew that for Ari, transitioning him in one go with a key worker and ensuring that that key worker went to help him become settled in an environment was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I guess some of the other things that nursery have put in place.
I think it's the lanyards as well, with all the pet cards, just to help, you know.
Cards, attentiveness. So the box, Ari absolutely loves when the box comes out, and and that helps his attention and joint attention as well. What was Becky telling you the other day about him playing with his peers as well in the garden?
Playing with water play as well. And I think everything nursery have done to help us and support us. And I think the key thing is Ari is happy at home, and when he goes to nursery, he is that same happy person. And when we pick him up, he comes out smiling, laughing, giggling, and that's exactly what we want. So
we just could not. We could not have gone back to work if we didn't have the confidence that we've got in the nursery. You've been fantastic, and if you pick up the phone and say, right, Ari's, he's a bit unsettled today, you really put Ari first, and he can't communicate because he's non-verbal, but you guys pick up the phone and you understand Ari to the level that I'm confident you understand him just as well as we do, which is so important to us. And you've helped us toilet train him, which is part of his EHCP, which is amazing. So we're just together with you guys. We've been able to actually help him hit some of those key milestones, which sometimes you take for granted as a parent.
Really key with what we were trying to enforce at home. Nursery were really with us on that. So like everything was trying to do around toilet training. One of the biggest challenges with autistic children is toilet training. It's really hard. But while we were trying to enforce it at home and would have lots of accidents week after week after week, nursery sort of stood by us and were like, no, if you're enforcing it in the home, we're going to stick with it in the nursery, and he's now completely toilet trained. And I think nursery play a large part in that. And same with his communication and his imaginary play and all these things that are coming on now. I think what we're trying to do at home and what you guys have supported with at nursery, the two go hand in hand.
The process for trying to get Ari into a school, it's been really long. It's been an absolute emotional roller coaster from start to finish. So I think we started quite early on we were of the view that with the measures that you had put in place to support the additional needs that Ari has during nursery, we knew that he needed to go into a school setting that offered either the same or more. He needed that enhanced. So we were very set on ensuring that we could get our foot through the door and start to understand what was in the local area, what was available to us. So there are 3 in the Derby City catchment area enhanced resource facilities.
Yeah.
And we knocked on every single one of the doors and said, can we come and see if your setting's suitable for Ari? Now, one of the first things is you need an EHCP in order to even go and view these. So ensuring that we were on that pathway to getting him an EHCP, which is an educational healthcare plan, so that lists out all the additional needs and the funding that that goes with your child through their education. You need that in play in order to visit these facilities, which is difficult in its own right. So we had to manipulate that a little bit and say that, you know, we are in the process. The HCP is going to panel, let us come and let us support that, because then that allowed us to drive some of the preferences.
We were trying to be proactive in a sense that the earlier the better with his diagnosis, and it puts us in a better position to try and push and get that EHCP. But also, in a way, it kind of worked negatively against us in a way that, because we were so proactive and Ari was still so young, they almost said, you know, he's too young to have an EHCP, which is just crazy. Because we understood it, we had all the medical diagnosis, but it's just due to his age they wouldn't give him an EHCP. So we had to push and push and push, and finally, we got that agreed and got that in place.
But it was a very long journey, and we started it before the openings came up on Derby City Council, so that you can go in and apply for the relevant school. We were advised during that process that we needed to view mainstream in absence of the AHCP and some of the delays, which we did, but it was, to be honest, it was hell on earth. There was times when Ari didn't even want to get out of the car, didn't want to enter a building. It was really distressing for him because of like the acoustics, or just because the environment wasn't right for him. So he likes open spaces, he likes to see windows, he likes to know where the exit is, just in case he wants to do a runner. So it was really distressing, but we had to do that out of formality because there was no assurances that we would get him into the facilities that we'd gone to. But anyway, through process of elimination, we viewed Spondon Springfield enhanced resource facility, and Ari was in his element viewing that twice, absolutely loved it. They're specialists for kind of speech and language and autism spectrum condition as well. So they're fantastic in terms of what they're going to be offering. Yeah. And after a fight and a lot of back and forth and pushing for communication, pushing to understand where in the process we were and what that meant, we did finally get what we wanted, and exactly. Ari will be starting there in September, which I can't wait for.
On your bottom, Ari. Good boy. Well
he loves George.
Was that good?
So it's probably worth mentioning here, he goes up to the yard at the weekend, so his granddad's farm, where we go every Saturday and Sunday, and whenever we fill the water buckets up for the horses, he is obsessed with the tap going on full power, the water flowing into a bucket, overflowing, water going everywhere. So I think it's the sensory aspect of the water moving and the droplets and stuff like that. He just loves water.
He loves
taps.
seeing it, but also what he's learnt at nursery has helped us when we've taken him to the yard as well, because he now knows like how to turn the tap on and off, but he will follow faster, slower, and he'll follow the instruction. But he loves the sensory noise and input from the tap.
There, you're gonna do yours. That's it. Turn it. Okay, ready? Fill it up. Good job. Turn it off. Turn it off. Yay! Well done. 1, 2, Well done. You can do it again.
So I'm guessing this is where Ari spends most of his time at nursery.
Yeah.
What? Yay! Are we filling an empty end?
I'm surprised he's not tried to take your camera off you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, to do the stay and play for his little brother Robin, and you can hear from downstairs the vibrations. It's amazing.
So that's
you don't need to be in the room to see and hear Ari.
So that's typical Ari when he's happy, when he's excited.
Yeah.
When there's sort of games and noises and songs going on, that's, you know, he will run around, he'll clap, he'll stim, and that's Ari
his
when he's
way
happy.
of showing that he's so excited and happy. It can sometimes be when he's a bit overwhelmed in a situation, so he likes to kind of run in circles or clap and stim when he is overwhelmed, but 9 times out of 10 it's usually when he's really happy that he's doing this. Look at him with the shark. Oh. So
this is his deer. Well, the deer zoo books. We've got the same one at home, and there's probably, I don't know, 10, 15 pages, and the only one he's bothered about is the elephant. He'll point at the elephant repeatedly, and he'll point at it. He'll make you say elephant, and then 5 seconds later he'll do the same thing again. But that's what he likes. So
he wants more explanation now, though. So when he points at an elephant, he doesn't want to just know it's an elephant. He wants to know that the elephant drinks water and then goes,
yeah.
And if you don't do that, then all hell breaks loose.
Camel.
I nearly said it myself then for it.
Lion. Rah. Giraffe. Where's the dog? Where's the dog? Woof woof.
There's the dog.
See if we can find the dog.
I wonder what he's tapping at there.
Yeah.
That's an elephant! Yay!
No. Okay,
Oh,
imagine it
yeah.
again. I've not seen him do that
I've not seen
before.
him do that.
Elephant!
Oh, he's so clever.
Oh.
He's got a very nice voice.
He had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. It's Superworm the skipping rope.
Yeah, so this is Superworm. So it's all the sort of Julia Donaldson books. So the Gruffalo, Superworm, Room on the Broom. He's absolutely obsessed with them. But yeah, at the minute it's Superworm, and he'll make you read the book time after time after time, and you'll have to say the same things and point at the same pictures, say what each of them are, and then he's happy and he'll let you move on. But
Beetle fallen in the well. Is she drowning? You can tell. No, not to panic. All is fine. Oh, it's Superworm, the fishing line. You see him now, he's going down, look. He's helping the beetles. They're chosen beetles, bees and bugs, brother snails and sister slugs. Uncle Ant and here
it's nice to not see him grabbing the book as well. Normally he's...
Yeah. So he loves this game. This is the box.
What's in the box? Yeah.
What's in the box, and he loves it. And sometimes when I drop him off in the morning, he doesn't want to go in the garden. He literally just wants to go and play with the interactive box game, which is amazing because it's given that joint attention, which is incredible. But he loves this.
wonder what it could be. Are you ready? Red. It has lights and it spins.
Oh.
Shall we turn it on? Ready, steady, go! Here it goes! It's spinning and spinning and flashing and spinning and faster and faster and faster and finished.
So yeah, things like this Ari loves, doesn't he? Sort of flashing lights, things that spin, rotate. Fireworks. He's obsessed with fireworks. I think it's the colours, how they light up, the noises. He just loves everything about it. So yeah, this sort of thing is typically what we'll do at home as well, isn't it? Some of the toys he has at home as well.
So this is incredible because Ari has literally had so many challenges in terms of diet, hasn't he, on his journey? So
very particular about what he would eat, the colours of food, down to that sort of detail.
And also there's something called picker, which is like sensory from eating everything. So he likes that sensory input in his mouth. So he would snack continually. So him going up and waiting and self-serving and
it's brilliant.
It's just absolutely amazing.
I think another point to mention as well is Ari's intolerant to gluten and how the nursery have sort of helped us with that as well. And obviously Ari doesn't fully understand that, but nursery have worked with him really closely to ensure that he doesn't, grab the biscuit here or there and
he'll go to his area to get the food,
exactly,
won't he? And then he'll sit down at the table, which is just it's incredible because it's just so inclusive.
It's amazing that he's waiting.
I know. I can't believe it. Oh, look at him, he's so excited.
Most of them went on, didn't they?
I was just going to say here, so this is a huge milestone for Ari. So I wouldn't say he struggles significantly, but motor skills is something where he has a delay. So
it was a challenge when he was younger.
Yeah.
It's something that he's doing really well in now. But typically, he would just grab the food with his hand. So seeing him using
his
sort of cutlery is amazing.
Just getting those gross motor skills is just incredible, isn't it?
And I think it's just being persistent. I think that's the key thing.
It's amazing.
Would you like some more, Ari? Wait.
There we go. Trying to use his hands.
Good job.
Amazing. What a winner.
Good job. Good boy.
So
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. So we always used to, well, we still do now. We take him to the park, and we'd always used to put him in the child swing, so the one with the harness and the bit of a seat. And he would make us push him because we didn't think he could swing himself. And it was like this for months and months and months. And I was leaving nursery once, and as I dropped him off in the morning in summer, I caught him in the corner of my eye. He was on the swing, he was kicking, he was going all the way up to the top, all the way forward. So for months we thought he wasn't able to push himself on the swing just because he's playing us. And I caught him sort of first hand.
The amount of times we've been at the park just pushing it back and forth for like 20 minutes.
Just because he's like, well, if you're going to push me, I'll let you. So
no, amazing.
Where's
No.
Ari? Go! Whee! He's a god. I'll take
Oh.
it. Ready? Yay!
Oh, that's incredible.
Bravo! Yeah! Good job.
He usually makes us do this,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah. Normally, he would make myself or Laura pick the leaves up and throw them, and he'd like them to fall on him, all around him. So, the fact he's doing it himself there,
Yeah.
is great.
That's just a huge, huge change, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a big handful, isn't it?
Oh. Just this is Ari. Like he
Yeah,
is
he's
the
so
most
loving, so happy all the
affectionate
time. Yeah.
child. He just loves a cuddle, loves a kiss. He's just, yeah, he's so affectionate.
I know exactly what book he's going to get. So whenever we drop Arie off at nursery, he will happily spend about half an hour in reception. So there's so many different books, the Gruffalo, there's bags, as you can see in the background, and I'll bring him in the morning, and I'm probably in there for half an hour before I can leave it. But it's great. And I think it never used to be like that, but I think recently you've sort of added all this into the reception area, and Ari loves it in here. He goes through all the books, and he'll be in here for for so long in the morning.
He loves it.
But yeah, he loves it.
No, you don't. Which one's doing what?
Oh,
Always found it.
yeah.
Zoom on the broom. Zoom on the broom. Where's the cat? Yeah, where's the moon? Where's the moon? Moon. Room on the broom.
So
So that's something else he's been doing
Yeah.
now as well. So at home we'd have a list of songs on the side of the fridge, and he'll point at each of the words and we'll sort of say the words back to him. And I think he started to associate the words with songs or words with books. And there's a couple of books where there isn't an image of an object, but there'll be words. It will say the Gruffalo, for example, and he will know that the Gruffalo, the words by themselves and what they're associated with. So I think he's started now to understand sort of language and words and what they're associated with, which is amazing.
another thing is that he will point left to right. He knows
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that actually you read from left to right, which is just absolutely incredible. And we'll walk past a word and it will say firework, and he'll be pointing at the word fireworks because he knows it's fireworks and he wants them. So
Should we take it upstairs? No, you want Mummy to read it. The witch had a cat and a very tall, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on fluttering paws, there bounded a dog. Where's the dog?
so excited.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
No. Advice.
Lots of advice.
Lots of advice. Just talk to people. Like ask for support. It's really hard emotionally. And don't put too much pressure on yourself to know the answers. And whatever you're doing now, you're doing for the good of your child. And potentially if you start to understand your child's needs more because you're on that journey with your child, it's okay if you've got things a little bit wrong in the past. Like it's fine. It's about focusing on actually the future and stepping into your child's world and recognising that life's going to be different for you, but it's fun.
And
it's really fun,
and
raising Ari.
Yeah,
There's never a dull moment.
Don't take no for an answer. So the amount of times we've heard no, pushback from whether it's the council or wherever, just fight back, keep pushing. And I think the gut instinct of parents you know. So you know what your child is like, and yeah, just push and push for that outcome that you think your child deserves. So,
and also just to kind of conclude that never see it as a negative. It is the most positive thing, and the ability that Ari has is phenomenal. He literally excels in every shape and form, so he doesn't use his words, but for me, I think love literally needs no words. He shows us every single day. He communicates with us on a level that I don't.
It's probably
it's
clearer
so
than,
special,
it's words, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know exactly what he wants when he wants it. He uses a vast means of communications to get that. But yeah, all his needs are met. He's happy, which is what matters to us, and he brings a smile to my face every day. So
He absolutely does. Yeah.
And one of the things you do is you do research, and you'll look at other children with autism, and you're trying to understand autism as a whole, and then other people, battling challenges with autism. And you'll say, well, yeah, Ari's similar in this sense, but he's very, very different in this aspect. Yes, he's non-verbal, but his attention to detail is incredible. Some autistic children have, they really struggle with loud noises, where Ari loves loud noises, he loves fireworks and all great things like that. So every child is different. Autism is, the spectrum itself is massive. Don't try and compare or put your child into a box, because it's never going to work like that. I think just try and understand as much as you can. And difference is great. So
it can be really difficult during
it can be really
those,
challenging.
Trying to juggle. For us, it was juggling a full-time job, pushing for a diagnosis, ensuring that we were just doing the day-to-day parenting of bringing up not only Ari but Orbin as well, and his younger brother. Just take advantage of those early days, because they go, and yes, it's really challenging bringing up a neurodivergent child, but actually don't spend too long procrastinating on what could have been or what could be different or what you can't do. Just focus on all of those amazing things that they offer you and what you can do, because there's so much. There is so much. Embrace the difference.
Exactly.
You're blessed. I just think we're completely blessed.